Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Lead Therapy. If you tried to get in on the last two live feeds, something happened and I had to delete them and start over. So I do apologize for that. So in the last video I made, it was had to do with, is Florida still the gunshine state? And I gave some reasons why I still think it is, but there also were reasons for sure why it might not be, as far as some laws have been put through. And in that, I mentioned that in, I believe, late June, early July, Florida is the first state that went over 2 million concealed weapons holders. And the next one is Texas, which is like 1.3, 1.4 million. So there's a lot of people that are taking upon themselves to protect themselves and their families and their possessions. And so I just wanted to give a health tip to the crooks that are either coming here to try to do a wrong, or people that live here. And that is 2 million people. So if you're out and about, and the big thing is, I see on the news almost every day that there's purse snatchings, there's people coming up behind people at the ATM and getting their money. And a lot of the times these people have a gun and they're taking advantage, and it's usually advantage of someone that's elderly. Now, of course, I frequently gun shops here in my area and gun shows. And also Florida, of course, is known for a lot of people that retire here, some elderly people. And I see a lot of people that are older that are purchasing guns for self-protection. And that's why there needs to be a health tip to these criminals, that these people are going to fight back. And at least once a week, watching my local Fox affiliate, because if you watch on other channels, they're not even going to cover it. That there are people defending themselves against people that are trying to take their possessions or harm them, and they're fighting back and shooting them, or just brandishing the weapon is good enough to make them run. So you just have to sit there and consider somebody elderly. It could just take as little as a Derringer. This happens to be a 380 caliber, but they could have any caliber they wanted. Of course, a big choice for a lot of people would be any type of a Glock. This is a Glock 26. This is one of my regular carries that I have. Yep. No, you can't do very much in California, and I wish the best for California, but I hate to say, California's been lost until we can get it. People can get in there and change it. It's a sad thing. But thanks for watching, old BD1. So, and people have different choices for their concealed weapons. The two that I showed you. But even people are able to carry even larger calibers. I just recently picked up at a gun shop used. This is a Ruger, and this is actually a 44 special. This is not a 44 Magnum, a 44 special, and this could be easily carried. And of course, you guys saw earlier, they do make holsters for it. And of course, you couldn't carry it unless you were maybe it's cold and you're wearing a jacket. But how would you like to stare down the barrel of that if you were trying to come after somebody? 50 AE. And then also I wanted to talk about people that also are in the news. It's showing a lot of people that are protecting themselves from people breaking into their homes. It used to be that the crooks would wait or make sure that you're not in your home before they break in. And down here, especially in Florida, you see this almost once a week or every other week, that people, these home invasions, people are just breaking down the doors, and it's more than one. And the other big thing, and I've seen this happen up even like 4 or 5 years ago, that there'll be 3 or 4 of them, and they're all armed, and they will start banging on the door real loud, and they'll start kicking in, and they're yelling police to get people not to shoot at them or comply. And of course, they're not police, but people are now, they're getting to know that that's one of the tactics. So anything like a shotgun or anything like that, I personally have different AK-47s. Here's an AK-47 pistol. And that's, a lot of people, and especially the gun grabbers, the Democrats, why does somebody need an AR-15 or AK-47? Because something like this, or here's a 300 Blackout that I have pistol, an AR pistol, that this levels the playing field. If I've got somebody smashing in my door, and there's 3 or 4 of them or more, which I've seen that on video, and most of them or all of them have handguns, this is going to level out the playing field. If I start shooting back with any one of these and they've got handguns, I've got the upper hand there. Plus, I know the ins and outs of my house, and they don't. And they're most certainly going to take off, and quite a bit of them will have lead in them too as well. Which when we get to, Florida has stand your ground. You don't have to be just in fear for your life, but in danger of being injured, and you can protect yourself and your family. And so that's just my health tip for the crooks that are out there, that Florida has over 2 million concealed weapons holders, and they're not afraid to use those weapons. They have to pass background checks, extensive background checks, that they have to take some classes. And so that's the message. And that's what everybody needs to do. The police are there to pick up afterwards. They're not going to be there if you call 911. 911 is for afterwards, after you've shot in those pieces of crap that are coming into your house, for them to come clean that up. So I just want to put that out there. That's a health tip for those crooks out there in Florida. Just be aware. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your support, and we will see you next time.